SafetyNet have been training clinical psychologists at Royal Holloway University and other psychology students at Kingston University. They have trained over 200 students since 2016. The students give really positive feedback about the training. All of them say the session helps them to improve their communication skills, and they feel more confident working with people with learning disabilities after the training. In 2017, we won a Royal Holloway College Team Teaching Prize for the training. Here is our video telling you a bit more about what we've been doing.
So here we are at Royal Holloway with Richie and John and Martin. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've been doing?
We've been doing training students at Royal Holloway about learning disability.
And how have you found doing the training?
The train's been good, yeah. The train's been good, yeah. When we talk about our disability and how we've coped well with it now. And I like the things when we go to the groups meetings.
It was part of the training, talking in small groups with everybody, and helping them think about how they could work better with people with disabilities and learning disabilities.
Because they were kind of like, because when I was in the groups, they were asking what do you think, and this other lady, Indian lady, she was saying her experiences and stuff. Then after that, she asked everybody. The other ones, they wasn't too sure.
Okay.
They weren't too sure.
So there's a real mix in the groups, isn't there, about how many people have worked with people with learning disabilities before?
Yeah.
And what has the feedback been like from the students?
Feedback from the students, I think it's been absolutely on point. They really got a lot out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially the the two groups that I went and spoke to really got quite a lot out of it. They didn't know as much as what they did know now. They really did.
It's not only Royal Holloway, sometimes we do
Kingston University, yeah.
Kingston.
Brilliant.
And some feedback is quite positive.
Yeah, feedback's been really positive, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. So, Chris, you went to this lecture the week before starting your learning disability placement. Was there anything that you found particularly helpful?
Yeah, that's right. So, I started my placement about 2 weeks after meeting the guys, and it was just really valuable because I never worked in a learning disability service before. So actually meeting the guys and hearing their stories was really powerful. And I remember they divided us into 3 different groups, and they came over to kind of speak with us on a kind of smaller group basis. And I remember that I worked along with John, and I asked him, what would he want from a psychologist in a session, and I just remember his feedback being really, really helpful. And I considered it when I started my placement. I found it really, really valuable.
And we had a small group with Richie, and it was absolutely essential, really, I think, in terms of really understanding what it was like for them to experience services, and also having the chance to ask them more specific questions, because you don't always get the chance to ask the really sort of nitty gritty. And that was just a way we could do that, which was really a useful opportunity.
You could really tell that they thought about the session and they planned it really well. You could tell that it was organised extremely well, because they had time to tell their stories, but then they had time to interact with us, which was really valuable. And often in lectures we just get to see video clips of like service users or experts by experience, but to actually have them there engaging with us directly, it was really, really helpful.
it just brings the whole thing to life, doesn't it? I mean, I think we all had the experience of starting talking and then finding it hard to stop because just more questions came into your mind and you found it just really interesting. Being able to actually talk to someone who'd really been there and had experienced services and could give you their experiences of life and also of working with psychologists, which is what we were about to do.
So what was the most useful thing you took out of meeting the guys that came in?
I think just seeing things from a different perspective. I think that a lot of our lectures and our teaching are from a very kind of professionals coming in and telling us, and actually hearing it from the other side of the story was just so helpful.
Definitely, because they had a bit at the beginning where they kind of talked a bit about their experience and their stories, and that was really, really useful. And it was kind of, it was quite personal, but it was also their experiences of services and things that they'd found helpful, things that they'd not found helpful. I think that was really good.
Was there anything particular about them coming in person and having the chance to meet them in person that you felt was particularly helpful or valuable?
Yeah, I think it was just so useful to meet the people and kind of, it's, you know, not such an abstract thing then when you're learning about these things in lectures. It was really meeting the people, learning their stories, what they'd been through. And they were just so fantastic at kind of engaging people. They were just great speakers. They were really engaging, really interesting, and that was a real sort of highlight for me as well.
Yeah, created a different kind of teaching dynamic which we don't get to experience very often, so I really appreciate it.
It's great to learn about the work that they do in terms of the group that they have, and you know, the fact that they get involved in teaching, and you know, all of the different initiatives they have. They're really, I remember them being very enthusiastic and really fun as well. They had us all laughing during the lecture, and they were just very, very friendly and very welcoming. And
I think that was a real useful thing for me actually, was thinking about the positive side, because I had no experience with anyone with a learning disability, so being able to see actually how much people were capable of and thinking about how you could work with that was a really useful thing to have the chance to think about.
And John and Richie, actually, you've both been involved in coming to the Royal Holloway Service User and Carer Involvement Group as well, which is the meetings which talk a bit more generally about involvement in the university clinical psychology programme. How have you found that, John?
I found it quite useful because some people doesn't know about learning disability, but sometimes we tell them about learning disability.
And tell us, John, what's the next thing that you're going to be involved with at Royal Holloway?
I'll be doing interviewing, which is in May.
Yep.
I've got 2 days in May, which is interviewing, and training I'm doing is actually in April.
Yeah, so that's training that you'll be going to about doing the interviews.
Yeah.
And then the interviewing will be interviewing potential candidates for trainee clinical psychology. Okay, anything else anyone else wants to say?
All I want to say is I hope we have enjoyed our training here. Well, I know I have. Have you two?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
We've all enjoyed our training here, and I hope we will be invited to come back and do this again and carry on continuing to until we get the message across.
Yeah. Yep, and it's a big thanks to SafetyNet and to all of you guys for supporting the training here.
And a big thanks to Royal Holloway for getting us down here to do this.
Great.
Otherwise this wouldn't be happening.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.